Welcome to our 2022 Tracer 260BHSLE. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's how they're hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that bit fresher. In this corner, as well as each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks. All they do is they run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. A couple of steps forward and you'll find your power cord inlet. So you'll find a little notch in the bottom corner here. It's going to line up with that notch there. Press them in together, a little 1/8 turn will lock it down, then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it into place. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp bend. Most campsites will have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug it at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Kind of up to the frame from there, you'll find your sewer outlet system. So you're just going to kind of press on that cap, give it a turn. You see it's got the same ears on it that the sewer hose had, attached the same way. On the left, you get a gray valve. On the right, you get a black. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filtering your toilet. It's, of course, going to be your dirtiest water. So you'll dump that first. Once that's done, you'll then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water, we dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Straight up top from there, you got your city water inlet. So water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Down underneath it's your exterior shower. So you got a key just like this guy here. You can stick it on into there, open her up. You get the standard 3-foot hose with the standard head and hot and cold water. Once you're done, just kind of tucking that hose back in there and the head right underneath the knobs, and then lock it back down. Towards the front of the unit, we have your freshwater inlet here. So you're just gonna pop that cap out, water hose sticks into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there. This one knob in the back, or valve in the back, is gonna be your freshwater tank drain. So you can see that's opened up, that's been drained out. Cable inlet's right down below it. So coax cable plug into there, fires up your TV location. Gear and solar panel plug in just right there. Plugs into there, charges your batteries. Then the other two lines down here, the ones towards the front, are your low point drains. They just open those up, allows the water system to drain itself out. So if you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can drain it before you leave. Front storage compartments here, magnetic latch, just hold it open. Inside of here, you'll find your water hose. Inside of the water hose, you're gonna find your park adapter. So your 30 amp cord would go to there, 15 to a standard household outlet. To the front of the unit, your little service light there. And then you'll see we've got 2 battery boxes here. You do have 2 batteries as well. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, those batteries are charging for you. With this unit, we've also pre-installed a solar panel kit with a solar charge controller. So as long as you're out in the sunlight, those batteries are charging. This flap here, if you open that up, you get access to your propane knobs. For the video, I'll pull this right off and I can show you a changeover in the front here. So it's currently green and pointing to this tank, so it's letting us know we've got good propane. We're running off of this tank. If it were to go red while you got this tank open, it's just letting you know it's no longer got any propane in it. We're just going to close that off, flip the change over to the other side, run off of that tank while you get the other one filled. In the front is a standard tongue jack, one way's up, other way's down. Other end of your storage compartment here. Inside of here, you're going to find a little light. So it's just got dual function light. You do have a 2 and a 1 on the switch. So the 2 is dual function where it'll use the motion sensing. 1 is just on. This little jack here is going to be for all your stabilizers. Little leash latch here, so you've got the dog out with you, you can tie him down. Bottle opener right by the entry door. GFI protected outlet, resets just inside of the unit. Straight up from there, you'll find your 2 exterior speakers. There are little blue lights inside of them as well. Exhaust for your furnace here, so if you're ever running a furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Little storage compartment in the back here as well. And then right in the back of the unit, get your hot water tank. So you're just gonna take this keyway here, line it up, and you can pop it on open. All your controls to turn it on are just inside of the unit. Before we turn it on though, we just wanna hit this relief valve right there. You should get some water coming out. If you're not getting any water coming out of there, there's a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just wanna make sure it's filled up before firing it up. Once you're done, just lock it back down with the keyway. And then we get your spare tire, and straight up from there, you see you are pre-wired for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. Your assist handle here, just up 90 degrees and it'll fall into place. Then you can open up your door. If you've got your door wide open, it does contact your awning arms, so just keep that in mind if you're going to be running your awning. For your steps, you're going to grab that bar, pull it straight out, flip that last step over, and then you can make your way inside. As you come inside, first things first, right on the left there, your fire extinguisher. That thing's standard, pull the pin, point, and shoot. Straight up the wall from there, you get your light switches. So on the left, we get all of our interior lights. In the center, you get your speaker lights, and on the right, you have your awning lights. Awning itself is on this bottom left switch. You're going to press and hold out and that awning will make its way out. Again, just watching that your door is at 90 degrees. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you were to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. There's the flap, there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, just pull straight down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring them back in though, you just want to make sure these guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then we can press and hold retract, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just going to watch to make sure that your fabric's over top of the tubes. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. There you go. Straight up from there, you have your solar charge controller, so it's pretty well all set up and going, just kind of reading out. If you press A there, you can kind of start B. You can kind of select through what it's doing, such as kind of your charging rate, your battery voltage, stuff like that. Right inside the entrance, you also have one of these dual function lights, so you have the on or motion sensing. To the front bedroom, your light switch is right on the wall there. As you come through, you'll find your antennas right on the top. You're going to press that in, turn it around, looking for your best signal. Once you're done going traveling though, you just want to follow that arrow, make sure you're fully rotated. The sliding doors, their travel latches are just in the center here. You also have a TV backer right in the middle there, so if you're looking to mount a TV, you might want to get something with a standoff there. Outlets for it up top. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a little storage compartment. Right in the head of the bed, a couple little reading lights there. Closet space on either side, and then just open storage along the top. For the slide, we're going to press and hold out. The slide will make its way out. Once that side's fully extended, it'll just kind of stop in place. There you go. On this side of the bedroom here, you got this window, so your blinds throughout the unit are all the same. They just sit where you leave them. This window here is your emergency exit. You pull on that red tab to get rid of the screen. Take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Kind of right around the corner from there, you get your thermostat. So you can press and hold the power button to turn it on. It'll start from fan. Fan is of course just moving some air around. You can select your high or low fan. After fan will come down into dry, where it'll run the low fan and the compressor and just trying to get rid of any sort of humidity that's in the air. Mode again will come up into cool. Select your temperature with your arrows there. Select your fan speed with fan. Typically you're going to just leave that in auto. With your air conditioner going, you got two different options. You can have this louver here closed, in which case we're using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air, or you can open it up and it just dumps all of it there into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want that open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, then you can close it off and start moving the air throughout. Mode again after cool, it'll come down into heat. It'll turn off the air conditioner, turn on your furnace. Again, temp selection just with your arrows there. Furnace is moving its air through a bunch of portals that you have throughout the units. Once you're done, just press and hold the power button, that'll turn it off. Power outlets, as well as your cable and satellite outlet on top, antenna outlet in the bottom. Turning that antenna on is just that power button there. Will also help clear up your stereo signal. AV cables are hooked into the stereo, so you do get kind of that surround sound. Power button there turns it on. Select to get through all your inlets. Mode to get through all, select to get through all your settings. Mode to get through all your inlets. Volume controls. Zone 1 is the sound bar. Zone 2 is your outside set of speakers. TV backer right there. Smoke detector. And then kind of straight down the wall from there, you find your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. That guy detects it, starts going off. In the slide, your lights are just on their own push buttons. This one's got it right in the side. You can see the dinette's currently set up as the dinette. If you were to take the dinette table, wiggle it out of the bases, wiggle the dinette table out of the legs will wiggle out of the bases. The table will then sit onto the two ledges there. Take your back cushions, fill in the middle to create your bed. This couch here does also fold out into a bed. You're taking your two back cushions, throw them off to the side. There's a little handle in the center there, up and out. Flip the foot over, putting it back ways, just kind of the same thing backwards. In the kitchen, you get your storage up top here, right? So once you pick up the unit, you will find a blue binder in here. It's going to have all of your owner's manuals, any keys, anything like that, you'll find right in there. Little light up here as well. Hot and cold water at your sink, of course, and a little bit of storage underneath it as well. Just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. Storage in your drawers. Microwave here, pretty standard, just like home. Get your range vent underneath it, and as well as a light. For the stove, just got the bifold cover, flips on back. Take that knob there over to that little flame. Fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it to off, letting it cool down, and then closing it back off. For the oven, you're going to flip it open, turn that knob over there to the little flame, hit the igniter. Once that pilot light gets going, just hold the knob for another couple seconds, then you can release, and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature, and there she goes. Once you're done, turn it back down just a pilot. It'll hold just the pilot light for you, but if you're traveling or leaving the unit for a while, you just want to make sure it's right off. Switch on the right side. 1 does the knob, 2 does the knobs as well as the oven. Underneath your oven's your converter. Press the top and center, it'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers in the middle here. Whenever breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side. Whenever a fuse pops, you get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. More storage space here, another little light, and more storage. Fridge is fully 12 volts, so as long as your batteries are charged, you're charging, this guy's going for you. So with the solar kit that's installed, as long as you're out in the sun, this fridge should be cold. Return air underneath it for your furnace, so just making sure it's not blocked off. And then some closet and cabinetry space. The bunk spaces are both identical. You have your light switch right up on the wall there. Same thing down here, the only difference being the location of the outlet. And then doghouse storage underneath. Into the bathroom. Your lights in here are both just those motion sensing, like dual function switches there. Get your medicine cabinets here. Down underneath, it's your monitor panel. In the bottom corner, you get your water pump switch. You turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Monitor systems up top. So battery, you can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Water heater controls are beside that, so the little thunderbolt on the left side lets you know you're firing it up with electricity. The flame on the right side is firing up with propane. If that light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. Kind of around the corner from there, you get your GFI protected outlet. Test on the left, reset in the center, so if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Toilet flips on open, you get your flusher front and center, and then into the shower, you get the nice stainless head and hose, and then the roof vent right up above it. Just turn that knob to open it up. Back corner, you get the switch, it turns on the fan. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.